What was Margaret Thatcher's reaction to the invasion? What was Margaret Thatcher's reaction to the United States invasion of Grenada in 1983? This event stirred a lot of emotions and political discussions. Initially, Margaret Thatcher and her government were not pleased with the invasion. They felt that the United States had not consulted them properly, which was particularly concerning since Grenada was a member of the Commonwealth and had ties to the British Crown. British officials expressed their anger over being informed about the invasion only shortly before it began. In fact, efforts were made by British officials to halt the intervention just hours before it took place. Thatcher herself was quite disturbed by the plans of the United States. She had concerns about sovereignty and international law. However, once the invasion was in progress, she chose not to publicly criticize the United States. Instead, she defended the action in the British Parliament. She pointed out that Britain had no constitutional responsibility for Grenada, which was an independent nation. The Governor-General on the island had the authority to act without needing approval from the British government. In a surprising move, Thatcher also stated that Britain would abstain from a vote at the United Nations Security Council that aimed to condemn the invasion. This decision showed a pragmatic acceptance of the situation and a desire to maintain the special relationship with the United States. In private discussions with President Ronald Reagan, Thatcher expressed her doubts about the claim that the United States had not consulted Britain prior to the invasion. She suspected that the Reagan administration intentionally kept her out of the loop, which troubled her. However, she did not confront him directly during their conversations. Her tone was cautious and reserved, reflecting her discomfort with how the situation was handled. From a Latin American cultural viewpoint, where sovereignty and non-intervention are highly valued, Thatcher's initial opposition to the invasion aligns with a respect for national sovereignty. However, her later defense of the United States action might be viewed as prioritizing geopolitical alliances over the rights of smaller nations in the Caribbean. The invasion itself was controversial in Latin America, often seen as an example of United States military interventionism, which many countries in the region opposed. In summary, Margaret Thatcher reacted with initial concern over the lack of consultation and respect for sovereignty but ultimately defended the United States invasion of Grenada, balancing legal principles with political realities and the strategic relationship with the United States.